Hello and welcome back to Farmstead TV. We are still watching the Nordic Warrior Cup 2 and we are still in the 5th round. There was another player filming as well, so I got his footage. So a big shout out to Ole Røstad for giving me this match so I can share it with you guys. Today we have a win-and-in match. That means that the winner will go on to the top 8. First we have Erik with his troll control deck. You might remember him from an earlier video. So the thing with this deck is that he only plays with beta cards. So that means he can play with cards like library, strip mine, factories and so on. Also the price on the dual lands is pretty high when it's come to beta. So I guess it's a challenge to get many of them. But what he lacks in power he makes up for in aesthetics and flavor. Of course, looking good doesn't win you games, but winning the games isn't the end-all be-all in old school. So that's the troll control deck. His opponent is Erland. He is a good buddy of mine and then one of the organizers of this event. He often plays with a super awesome alpha-only deck, but this tournament he made a robot deck. So you can see the deck here. It's pretty standard. So that's about it. Let's get down to the game. Game number 1. You have Erik to the left and Erland to the right. I think both players have kept their 7. Erland is on the play. Starts out with an Underground Sea and a Mox Sapphire. You can see I put a number up on the screen that will indicate the life total of Erland, since he didn't use those big dices. Erik plays a Black Mox and a Soul Ring and casts a Sedge Troll. And Erland uses a counter spell to counter it. And here comes a Tavnos Coffin. You can pay 3 mana and tap it to remove a creature from the game as long as the coffin remains tapped. Oh, and Erik plays a Jameday Tome. That's a really good card against... Erland plays with 3 disenchants, so should be able to remove it. Comes some more mana, and here comes the Triskelion. It's a 1/1 with 3 ++ counters on it. You can remove the counters to deal 1 damage. Erik cast a Sword of Plowshare on the Triskelion. So looks like Erland used the Triskelion to do 2 damage to Erik and 1 damage to itself. So it only goes to the graveyard and isn't removed from game. So that's pretty smart. And Erik keeps drawing with a book. And Erik plays a Sedge Troll. And Erland cast a sword to plowshare on the troll, and not using the Tavenous coffin. Maybe he has another Triskelion in hand and wants to use the coffin on that. That's a great combo. Erik shoots Erland for 3 damage with a lightning bolt and tapping the book to draw another card. Another lightning bolt puts Erland down to 14. Comes a disenchant on the coffin. Erland plays an ancestral recall, getting some card advantage for himself. He needs to do something with a Gem Day Tome, unless this game is going to get really out of control. Terravors? Something like that. You can remove counters to get 1/1 flyers, but Erik casts a sword to plowshare, removing it from the game, and Erland gains 4 life. Comes something big. Oh, a mind twist. Okay. Erland only had mana in his hand, but still it hurts to lose 5 cards. Yeah. Maybe he was saving up for the library, because he doesn't need more than 6 mana normally. Here comes Suchi, drawing a card with a book. And here comes the Jade statue. You can activate it for 2 mana and it becomes a 3/6 artifact creature. So Harry can use it to block. So he hits him for 3, puts Erland down to 15. Draw another card. Wow, Gem Day Tome really shines in this game 1. Here comes an Icy Manipulator. Now we can use that to tap the Suchi down, so we can attack with the statue. So Erland is doing some thinking. Is it a recall? Recall for 2? Yeah! And he decided to keep up white mana, discarding 2 lands. And getting back the Ancestral Recall and Sword to Plowshare. So now the Icy taps down the Suchi. He unsap. So now I can use the Icy to tap down the planes. attacks for 3, puts Erland down to 12. And a Mind Twist for no, an Incinerate for exactly 12. So that's game. Erik takes down the first game. Game number 2. Erland is on the play. Start out with a library. That's a good start. Now the problem here with the beta deck is that he doesn't have Strip Mine. He has Chaos Orb, and I think he plays with 2 Armageddon main deck, but you really need to find an answer for this library. Erland can just lean back and draw some more cards. Since Erik isn't pressuring his life. Comes a factory. Erland plays a Time Walk that gets countered by a red Elemental Blast. Erland used the library to draw another card. And he put Mox Ruby back on the top of the library. I guess he maybe draw 2 cards with the library. So it is an old school event and pretty casual, so you can just put it back. No stress. Drawing us some cards. There isn't that much happening in this game, but here comes something. Circle of Protection Red. That's good against Erik's deck. That's from the sideboard. I wonder what Erik could have in his hand. Until now he just played a Bolt, a Blast and some lands. Maybe he's floating out a bit. And here comes Suchi. So Erik cast a Shatter on the Suchi. And Erland cast a Mana Drain, countering the Shatter. And Erik cast a Disenchant on the Circle of Protection Red. So that was a pretty nice play, drawing out that Mana Drain with the Shatter, and then casting a Disenchant on the Circle. But the problem is that Erland is drawing twice as many cards. And here comes the first attack. Erik down to 16. Erland plays a Black Lotus, sacking it. Here comes something big. A Triskelion. So now he can attack for 10 the next turn, if he attacks with the factory as well. That's a 2-turn clock. More mana for Erik. This doesn't look good. Yep. Attacks for 10. And 2 more lands. Alright, so it's 1-1. Erland won this game. Game number 3. Erik is on the play. Starts out with a plains and a black mox. Erland plays a City of Brass into a Soul Ring. And Erik casts the Disenchant on it. And a second City of Brass. That's pretty hard. Those 2 City of Brass can really hurt you if you don't have that many other lands. And when your opponent is casting lightning bolts and fireballs on you, it gets even worse. But hey, Circle of Protection red, and it gets disenchanted. Okay. So in this game, both players draws the same number of cards, at least until now. So this could go either way. Another bolt to the face puts Erland down to 13. So we are playing draw go. So now Erland has 6 mana, and I use 4 of them to cast the Abyss. I guess he's holding up a counter spell or a mana drain. And here comes an Ancestral Recall. Looks like Erik is going to respond. Oh, nice! It's a fork, so he wants to make a copy of the Ancestral Recall to target himself. But Erland casts a mana drain on it. Is it there? And Erik casts a red Elemental Blast. It's probably targeting the mana drain. So here fork is resolving first. So if the red blast counters the mana drain, Erik will get to draw 3 cards first, and then Erland. So it's there, he draws first, and if he doesn't respond, Erland can draw 3 cards. So that was in the end of Erik's turn. Oh, and here comes the library, and I guess Erland has a full grip of cards. Yes, he's tapping that library, so he must have 7 cards in hand. Now it's 8. Erland cast a time walk. That's a well-timed time walk now, because Erik has tapped down 3 of his 6 lands, so now Erland can untap, draw another card with a library. Yes, it's something big. A mind twist. It's probably for Erik's entire hand. He's tapping that last City of Brass. Losing 2 life, but wow, that was a good hand. Oh my, this game has really swung in the favor of Erland. I guess if you cast Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, Library, Time Mind Twist, things go in your favor. Here comes a Triskelion, coming to finish the job. Erik has no cards in hand. Here comes the second factory. Yeah, and he has 7 cards in hand, so he can use the library. So here comes the Triskelion and a factory, and probably use the other factory to pump it. So Erik is down to 12. Erland has a full grip of cards. And that was a swamp. Alright. That was game 3. So that was round number 5. Erland won 2-1, and he moves on to the top 8. I guess the cards of the match must be JMD Tome and Library of Alexandria. Both cards can draw you a bunch of cards, and the Tome was the star in game 1. Erik played it pretty early and used it many times. In game 2 there was a turn 1 library for Erland that buried Erik in card advantage. And in game 3 Erland played pretty late in the game, played an Ancestral Recall that gave him 8 cards in hand, so he played a library and then went off the next turns. So you can see a card advantage is super important in these long matches. It's often in Magic that the player who draws the most cards win. Alright, next week we're gonna be watching some top 8. I'll see you there.